few patients with a normal cerebrospinal fluid, CSF, biomarker profile fulfill the clinical criteria for Alzheimer's disease AD. Objective: the aim of this study was to test the hypothesis of misdiagnoses for these patients. Method: patients from the e-PLM centers fulfilling the core clinical criteria for probable AD dementia or mild cognitive impairment due to AD-MCI, with normal CSF A 142, t-tau and p-tau biomarkers and clinical follow-up, were included. Clinical and imaging data were reviewed by an independent board, from baseline, visit with clinical evaluation and CSF analysis, to the end of the follow-up, for a final diagnosis. Results: in the e-PLM cohort of 1098 AD patients with CSF analysis, 37.3% patients, 20 with AD dementia core clinical criteria and 17 with AD-MCI core clinical criteria, had normal CSF biomarker profile and a clinical follow-up. All patients presented with episodic memory impairment and 73%, had medial temporal lobe atrophy on MRI scan. After a median follow-up of 36 months, range 774, the final diagnosis was AD-MCI or dementia for 9.24% patients, and unlikely due to AD for 28.76% patients. A misdiagnosis was corrected in 18.49% patients. Mood disorders, non-AD degenerative dementia, vascular cognitive impairment, alcohol cognitive disorders, temporal epilepsy and hippocampal sclerosis, and 10.27% patients had cognitive disorders of undetermined etiology. Conclusion: AD diagnosis, MCI or dementia, with normal CSF biomarkers is a rare condition. A clinical follow-up is particularly recommended to consider an alternative diagnosis. PMID, 29,318,973.